Hello, John, a happy place. Our first art session in 2021. As this is New Year, I prepared something to prompt us to reflect on upcoming year. I'm not a big fan of New Year resolutions, but I like to work with inspiration and words, sometimes for beginning of New Year, just to have reflection on what would you like to invite into your life. And of course, we're doing that through the art. The project involves working with watercolors or inks, depending on what materials you have, and then creating word from different materials. Here I have an example. In this example, I have piece of book page, magazine page, and my old abstract art recycled. And then just working with this word, introducing maybe more materials if you want to make it standing out, and having fun. So looking forward to what you decide to choose, and this is something you can put on display or maybe refer to it later during the year. And Happy New Year to all of you. And hopefully, that's my hope for 2021. See you again in person. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, let's get started. So background is our first stage. That's going to be wet on wet watercolors and some splashes. And then we're going to work with the actual words and then adding final touches with pen or crayon or pastel, but that's optional. So I want my word to be in the middle. So I wouldn't like backgrounds kind of spreading from the middle towards the edges. So we're going to use wet on wet. I'm using watercolor, fluid watercolors and inks. Feel free to use any watercolors you have, or any paints that you know mixing with water well. So I'm just creating a bit of puddle here. More water. And now we're going to go with some watercolors. Okay, with this one first. So those are mainly fluid watercolors and inks. Also has yellow. I want to move that. So I'm using straw, just to give it more movement, but feel free to just blow the paint or move the paper. Also remember to cover your table, because it's likely you're gonna get some paint beyond your paper. Okay, I'm gonna go with my yellow now. So just getting clear water to make it lighter. If it's getting too wet, you may want to use tissue. I just want to get rid of some of that puddle. Okay, getting there. So keep working from the center, adding colors and just mixing them. Another way of doing that is using head dryers. So I just show you how it works. It's going to be a bit noisy. Okay, so that's where you get more of those bits coming out. So that's first layer, and that needs to dry before we move to applying a word. You may want to have the middle much darker, so whatever you apply on top, it's going to be more visible. So it's up to you how, you know, how darker you want it. If you want to add some colors and keep outside lighter, that's really up to you. Okay, so I'm just adding some here, and it's just repeating the process and drying it and adding another layer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry it now fully, bring it back and show you how I apply word on top. Okay, this is dry now. I'm just adding some splatters with ink. You can use watercolor or acrylic paint for that. This is optional. I just like to add some extra. And just remember to dry your first layer. If you're doing that, dry your first layer so you can have them like sitting on top. Okay, so that needs to be fully dry, and then we're going to work with letters. Here we are, this is dry. So like I said, think about the word that you would like to introduce or focus on in 2021. I like working this way. I went for it as this is like a example video, so I'm doing, I think, the word that's very much on the mind of many people, which is hope. So letters are just cut out from different sources, and be creative. See what you've got in your house. Maybe you have some leftovers of packaging paper, Christmas paper. Cut the letters out. So this is, for example, book page. This is a bit of landscape from the magazine. P is a bit of my abstract painting leftover, and this is another landscape C from the magazine. So cut them out, arrange them as you wish, and then glue them to the page. And the next stage is to work, and this is optional, however it's quite a good idea to have something like a marker or maybe white pen, or I'm working with soft pastel for a change, just to use to outline the letters so they stand out from the background a bit more. Okay, so here I'm working with the pastel. Like I said, use marker or pen. It's up to you, depending on what colors are your letters and what color is your background. All pastels are really great for that as well. But here I've got just soft pastel and chalk. Anything really will do. So with soft pastel, chalk and oil pastel, you'll be able to smudge those outlines a bit if you want to do that, or you may want to leave them as they are. So here we go. I'm looking forward to see what you create, what word you decide to choose, and then depending on the colors and materials you use, you know, there are so many possibilities of working with this project. So have fun and share on our Facebook page. Bye bye.